Good afternoon, morning, or evening, wherever you're at. Welcome back to the Metroid Prime Randomizer Mentor Tourney. We have the final match here this week for round 5 of the Swiss stage. Hawke versus mcolyer? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Your guess is as good as mine.
This should be a pretty good race. Both these players look like they're about even. As far as like skill level, knowledge level, and previous matches of the tournament. So this should be a nice close race. Yeah, I did a little bit of background looking to see what these players are like. Looks like mcolyer is originally like a Link to the Past, or maybe I'm thinking of Hawke actually. Yeah, Hawke is originally a Link to the Past runner. So it's kind of cool to see new people come into the community from other randomizers.
Having a mentor tournament like this definitely helps people getting into stuff, because getting started with randomizers sometimes can seem a bit daunting because there's just so much stuff to learn. It's way easier if you have played the game casually or on a speedrun level or any other way a lot before you actually go into randomizer, but if you haven't, there's so much you can go over, and sometimes having just some assistance from people who know stuff and maybe know better what to learn first and guide people through it does make it easier for people to get into and then just enjoy racing that much more.
Might have a small cropping problem on mcolyer's side. Not sure what's going on.
Not really sure either.
Maybe someone's adjusting it right now.
Looks like it's not on our end.
Any predictions for any crazy checks you think? You think it'll be a quick seed, slow seed? What do you think is the first item gonna be?
Maybe this time it's the morph ball. As for fast or not so fast seed, the latter ones are in overwhelming the favor or advantage as far as I've seen. There were some exceptions, but usually there tend to be some very unfun stuff happening, at least logic-wise, throughout the tournament for most of the time. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see something. Yeah.
I think morph ball starts interesting. Missile start is kind of interesting as well. I think preferably, like for me personally, I like space jump early. I think it opens up kind of a weird logic chain of things that can be available, and usually you pick up ball or missiles pretty quickly off of that. Morph ball early is a little weird because without missiles, you're still kind of pigeon-toed into like the same route. So I'd be interested to see how that works out. Looks like tech things on the cropping side are just about fixed. We'll probably get started here any minute. Races are just about ready.
Okay, should be starting any second now. Errands are off in the race time, so we should be catching up with them soon.
Yep, looks like here we go. Yeah, I really want to see if this FCS climb logic comes back into play this seed. An early one would be kind of cool. Give us like an early space jump and ice beam. I'd love to see it. All right, looks like timer countdown has started in 10 seconds, so gotta get going here. Good luck to the runners. Have fun. Excited to see where this goes. As per usual, first thing we're going to see these runners go for is a space jump check early. So they'll be moving to the back right ship and using something called a scan dash to get up on the ledge, and they'll hop across and check our first item. So they're going to go ahead and give a couple goes.
One of the more essential tricks, scan dash, especially early on to get to alcove for that first item. Can sometimes take a few tries if you're not that used to doing them yet. Maybe need some warm-up tries to get into the groove, get the timing right.
Yeah, it's typically one of the first space jumps you want to learn, just because of how important this item is. But it's also, ironically, I think, from like a brand new learning perspective, it's probably one of the more difficult space jumps to learn. So you have to get a pretty good one. And the timing here is a little specific. You want to tap the B button as light as you can, or as quickly as you can, let go of it as quickly as you can to get the most distance. So we'll see these two going at it, see who gets up there first.
I mean, one good thing here is the time to retry it is not that long, so you can just do it pretty quick again, which...
It's like mcolyer's got it first, so we'll see what item we got over here. But yeah, getting back up there is super easy. Grapple first!
Yep. Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's not something you see that often immediately. I think by itself does not open up anything just yet, so...
Yeah, it really is one of those weird items that by itself doesn't really mean a whole lot, but once you pair it with something else, it can go in a lot of different directions. You pair it with Varia, some other items could mean going over to Magma Pool, checking the training chamber, or the other far side of it. It could just mean Grapple Ledge is a possibility. You can get that up there. It could mean Frigate Crash Site if you get missiles and Morph Ball. That's one way to get across and get that item. That is in logic. If you get X-Ray, it could point to Root Cave. So a lot of different possibilities early game that Grapple can point to. Looks like mcolyer's going to go ahead and make their way to what I assume will be Chozo and heading towards Hive Totem.
I mean, Hive Totem has to be something, likely something like a Morph Ball. We have seen the launcher being under the ship. So,
did we catch what was under the ship? I actually missed it.
Yep, that was the missile launcher, which mcolyer actually scanned for, so we know it's the launcher.
This could be one of those seeds then that ball is on Hive Totem and you're expected to go all the way back for the missile launcher.
Yeah, a very good possibility.
Looks like we'll get our first look at Main Plaza. Ball and Grapple Ledge. Okay, that makes sense as well, because I do believe it is in logic to jump from the top of tree and grab it with Grapple. It's a little tricky. If it's not in logic, then Space Jump might be on Hive Totem.
I think it is actually required to have Space Jump for that to be in logic with just Grapple.
Yeah, that does sound right.
So yeah, it is very likely that we have Space Jump in Hive Totem here. Like, I'm not too firm on all the logic implications just yet, but that's Grapple Edge thing was something I heard from the mentors, which I am fairly sure I got correct that way.
Yeah. I think you are right, though. This is kind of like the implication I was talking about earlier, where it's like you're not sure what grapples can be for. Something other you'll note about early Chozo, not having Morph Ball to reduce damage from these Scarabs. They can be a little scary without any E-tanks. So,
absolutely. Like, I've had my fair share of times where I just ran into them, not really paying attention, and I lost about 80% of my actual health right then and there. And yeah, that can get a bit scary.
It's like Hawk does pick up that grappling beam.
mcolyer tried to attempt for a scan there here. I couldn't quite catch what's here now totem, but
looks like space jump on Hive Totem.
Yeah.
So interesting logic chain already, where you're expected to get grapple, go to Hive Totem, get the space jump, and then go get your ball to go get missile launcher.
Fortunately, we might not necessarily have to go back all the way to the ship to get missiles. I didn't see all of the checks we had available. I didn't pay too much attention to half-pipe or wall ledge, but while the launcher is logically expected for you to get before you use missiles from the seed, we can use any missile upgrade that we find.
Yeah, you bring up a good point just about like launcher logic in general. As long as you know where it is and know that it's in logic, getting any expansion and then kind of just treating it as another expansion is good. It's just whether you know where it is or not. So it's like Hawk is also going to be moving into main plaza. Also figuring out that potentially, if they haven't figured out, maybe their mentor probably pointed out that that space jump is most likely going to be on Hive Totem because of where ball is and launcher. Nice movement through that first hallway by Hawk. If you hug that left wall as you go through, you can actually dodge all the Scarabs in that first tunnel. mcolyer making their way back out. Looks like they'll be heading, I assume, to just go get their ball. And then from there, I would assume they are going to pick up an expansion, if there's one in the area that's accessible via space jump, and then stay in Chozo. But could be wrong. Maybe they'll go back to ship, use their ball to check for the crash site and all that jazz. If they're good with invisible platforms, there's a possibility they could go to Root Cave, grab the Root Cave item, and get bottom of tunnel. But that's entirely dependent on what their trick knowledge is.
I want to say there was another missile. I don't know, maybe not. On wall ledge?
Well, except there was one in half pipe at least.
Yeah, so there's no immediate need to go back to the ship just to get missiles. Root Cave, the upper item, while we do have grapple to get over there easily and have space jump to move around, it's not a logic yet, so it's only transport tunnel B that would be we be able to get. So yeah, maybe some communication between mentor and mentee on mcolyer's side decide if they actually want to go into a ruined shrine here where we have 2 items that we can grab once we have more balls, so we should pick that up first. Yeah, now that I think about that makes sense.
Gets up there first try from the tree. There's a cool slope jump that mcolyer was able to pull off there, where you can slope off the side directly to the top, skipping and had to go all the way around. Not too bad to do. It's good knowledge to have though, because it just gives you better movement through main plaza.
Meanwhile, Hawk managing to pick up that space jump boots will be returning to main plaza to get their first missile expansion and their mothball.
mcolyer going for another nice trick with the upper rune shrine to get the power bomb expansion.
Which now allows us to check the third item in here too.
Yeah.
It's a convenient find.
Yeah, this is where things get interesting. So we're in the phase of the game now where the key item we're going to be looking for is going to be bombs. We need to find bombs to really do much of anything else here. And we are going to find that X-ray, ironically, for Root Cave. So potentially a Root Cave bomb seed.
Again, they're Hawk running here through the scarabs, taking quite a bit of damage. We're getting through here.
Yeah, that's so scary.
Or root cave bombs, though, if they're not in transport tunnel B, I want to say it's the same thing with main power bombs are expected to be found before they are required to be logically used. And if we don't have bombs,
oh, that's
we
true.
would need them to get that X-ray.
I didn't even think about that. Good call.
So, I mean, we have grapple, although that was already used for mothball. We do have X-ray, so root cave might not be that far off, but yeah. We would need to find either main power bombs or our bombs first for that to suppose what we do.
I assume mcolyer will do a cleanup of like the early loop here, or I am going to save warp, I assume, or save, either one. My assumption would be clean up early loop and then save warp to check early stuff plus artifact hints. We'll see what they end up going for.
Yeah, I mean,
Hawk going for that tree slope jump to get their morph ball as well.
Clean up here. If you are comfortable enough with the peak here and me and room names, we're not the greatest friends yet. There's room here. Run Cordiad? I don't know.
The name of the room?
Cordiad wasn't fan. Yeah, if you know the peak, you can do it here. If you don't really do it, you have to leave behind that check on the side here. So while you can grab that one check here with the missile, it kind of feels a bit awkward to do maybe.
I actually don't mind this play either that mcolyer is doing, though, is just go ahead and commit to doing the whole loop. You get that one extra item on the backside, and you get to peek what fault is.
Yep.
Then I guess if you really wanted to, you could also head down to Lava Lake, not to get the item or anything, but just to hit the save point and possibly save warp from there.
I mean, yeah. Without warrior suit, I would not really see anyone want to go there, even for just the save station. There, it might just seem better to peek Vault Edge instead and have to loop around.
Yeah, I think the two strongest plays at this point are either going back to Talon to clean up there, or to just push farther into Chozo with your morph ball. What do you think would be better?
I probably would just go back to the ship, but that's more of a preference for me, just getting the artifact in earlier, which might not make that much sense here, but
I think it does, just because even though it's not in logic yet, like the hint that you're getting to go towards artifact to go towards Root Cave will still apply later if you find bombs or main PBs. So still being able to get it is not like a terrible idea while you're out and about.
looks like Hawk might actually be just oh, the stream is frozen. Never mind.
It's like mcolyer is going to go with that first path option and going through to mid Chozo.
I mean, we do have a power bombs. We can do those bomb checks, although it might be a bit annoying trying to reform that power bomb. So we only have that one available for us right now. That's luckily just a missile, so we can kind of forget about that.
I will say it is kind of nice to, like, it can sometimes be a pain, but it's still possible to get power bomb drops in this area, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, of the early areas in the game, this is one of the more lenient areas for finding power bomb drops.
Hawk has managed to get that power bomb expansion. Will be able to pick up extra here.
Yeah.
Has to be a bit careful though. Beetles here coming through the tunnel. They can do that.
Yeah, this is always scary if you only have like one expansion and no bombs.
Oh, down to 34 already. Yep.
So I think you play it safe here and just go ahead and try to take out the enemies. This cramped area is no fun though.
But absolutely it's not.
This would give me anxiety. I think as long as they take their time, they can get out just fine though. Yep. Should be okay. Even got a power bomb refill out of further troubles.
That's what you like to see. But now we have more fall. We could just roll through the stirrups here. They won't do as much damage anymore. But they do give decent health refills. Not much, but they do give a bit, so quite valuable health refill here for Hawk.
Yeah. It is funny how like their drop rate is actually not great, but since there's so many of them, they usually are pretty good about dropping the purple healths.
Just more missiles and a watery hall on the charge beam pedestal.
mcolyer, you're doing one of my favorite routing options of opting to pick up that item in Watery Hall after you do lower dynamo, just because like you can escape the laser eyes without having to deal with them.
And more missile.
Yeah. Looks like Hawk is going to be doing somewhat of a similar play, also going ahead and advancing through that early loop.
I mean, given that we don't really have any logical explosive available yet, our options are somewhat limited.
Hawk in an unfortunate situation of not getting any missile drops from the bees.
I've been there before, and oh,
Yeah.
I'm not sure that mcolyer can get out here, so I think we'll be back to the last save.
Did they get a peek on the item at least?
I'm not sure. I think they attempted to scan it, but ultimately didn't, and just tried to get up there, which they did not manage to, so I'm unsure if they know. I don't think so, but maybe they actually spotted something and just wanted to want to have it. Like, it can be done on just that 99 starting health. But yeah, you have to be...
I just came to the realization mcolyer just went to go scan that missile. I'm wondering if they don't know where the launcher is. If they didn't actually scan the missile undership.
No, actually, I want to say it was mcolyer who did the scan. And it's Hawk does not know that it's launcher down there. And okay, just the missile expansion.
Well, I guess...
Now pre-screening extension, making that easier to notice.
By the way, Hawk looks like they are doing that peak. Oh, not quite turning quickly enough.
Yeah, if you can get the information there, if there's something there or not, that will eliminate one check that's basically out of the way of everything else that you want to do from this point on.
Yeah, it's such a bad check, and that peak is so strong.
But unfortunate on Hawk's side that he didn't really get a good look on there.
mcolyer using some pretty good sustainable tech, by the way, coming up through what is this, Gathering Hall? I think it's Gathering Hall.
I think, yeah. Sounds about right. Again, room ramp's not my strong point yet. Oh!
Ooh, gonna get rewarded with supers. Still not in logic until bombs though, or PBs. Interesting. Gonna opt to save here. I completely agree with this.
Absolutely.
Being low on E-tanks, just having those safety saves, not have to repick up important items is very important. Actually gonna go for the save warp.
Interesting. I mean, the only other check that you have available right now that's up here is Burn Dome, so vanilla bombs, which is something you cannot just simply rule out of happening. So I get the idea to wanting to go back for the reset, since we have transport tunnel B and frigate crash site and the artifact temple still to check. But yeah, maybe even if you wanted to do the reset here, maybe it would have been a good idea to make a save there and be able to get back there if there's absolutely nothing in the three checks we are checking now, and bombs are simply vanilla.
Yeah, I agree with you, actually. I think that's a very strong save split to make. So I think saving before that save warp would have been important. People are asking about the mentors. Looks like, I believe, yeah, it's Sam from mcolyer and Baja with Hawk, so they have got the ace team for their mentors today. mcolyer is going to go ahead and use that grapple beam to try to get that first crash site tech. I don't think I've seen it done from the second one before. Yeah, it might be going back to the first one.
Yep. On the way over to Watery Hall.
Oh, wave at Friggish Crash site. Okay, that complicates things a little bit. That opens things up a bit more than I think people would like pre-bombs. mcolyer going for that backup slope jump under the water.
Good. Space jump.
Oh! So. Does get it. Very nice.
Well, Hawk about to see the supers and pick them up.
Also, with that nice Gathering Hall standable movement I was talking about earlier, it's nice to see new players already incorporating stuff like this. It's very good early knowledge to have.
Getting the bomb back, very important before going into Watery Hall to be able to check Dynamo.
I will say I kind of feel for these runners that early wave before bombs is a little terrifying. So hopefully bombs are Artifact Temple and we can chew that fear away.
We will be finding out soon.
I'm also going to pull up a notepad, see if I can write these artifact hints down, but if anyone in the chat wants to help write them down so we can get a nice cohesive list, I think that would be nice.
We do know about the one in Vault already, so...
Oh, good call.
More. That's mains. Main power bombs.
Main PBs.
So now we actually have to think about Root Cave.
Yeah. I think Root Cave is going to be the play, so hopefully mcolyer goes there next. Also, they didn't pick Tree yet, so Tree could be something as well.
That is true. The supers are now on Logic 2. Which might make more sense given that grapple was already used, but neither , 'X-ray nor super missiles just yet. 'Cause 'X-ray is still on Logic 2. 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 'Cause 'X-ray is still on Logic for some more progression.
Looks like mcolyer is gonna wait to check artifact hints. I'm not sure how I feel about that, just because like they're potentially about to go to Root Cave, and if you see there's 2 artifacts there, you wouldn't want to go there early. Although I do think that'd be unlikely, but
If we had Varia, that could very much be the case, but without, we are somewhat limited in our checks still. We do have Tower of Light, but maybe for that, even checking the hints is definitely a good idea. So if you know early that there's a artifact up there, you might not even have to decide if you want to wait for enough missiles or try the dashes.
Drax is dropping some knowledge in chat. Looks like Sam's mentoring them, and Sam typically prefers to wait to check actual hints. Yeah, it is interesting how that's such a divided... I don't know how to describe it. A divided concept theory.
There are preferences to that, or in randomizers usually there isn't that one golden way to play stuff, because most of things have up and down sides, and sometimes it comes just up to which end you want to play to. You have to decide for yourself.
It's like Hawk's playing a little dangerous, by the way. It does get out of Watery Hall without dying, so that is a nice pickup from mcolyer. Down to 17 HP though, so that's a little scary. They'll be able to hit that safe station though.
Indeed, that safe station is just around the corner.
Yeah. mcolyer making their way up Root Cave, taking it nice and slow. Do not blame them. 0 E-tanks is terrifying no matter almost what any area you're in. Just have these invisible platforms, and we'll see what's up here. I have a feeling it might be bombs or something. There's got to be something up here, right?
Yeah, kind of points to that. So, what do we have? That looks like an E-tank. So
it's not what I was expecting.
I mean, we still have Transport Channel B.
I feel like Root Cave is that weird check where if you don't get the items for it, it always has something, and if you do get the items for it, it's usually just a red herring. Like, it's it's funny how that happens.
Just a missile though, so... Yeah, what we are looking at here now, the tree.
Yeah, we got Tree, Tower of Light, Vanilla Zoid, and that's pretty close to it, unless they find Varia at one of those checks.
Oh, picking up that wave beam.
Hawk is making up some time here.
Took a little bit to get going with the initial dash over to Alcove, but since then has picked up the pace.
Yeah, it's been nice to see the comeback a little bit. Based on how they're playing now, it seems like there's a chance that Hawk might catch up. We have a pretty nice even race here. Still pretty early in the game. Yeah, if they find Varia, that opens up quite a bit, considering that they already have main PBs and grapple, and wave could point to something over by training chamber, access, or across magma pool. I think our best bet, though, is probably something in Tower of Light. For some reason, that check always has stuff. If there's nothing in Tower of Light, I'm willing to hedge a bet that it's going to be vanilla bombs, just because. But we'll see if there's something in Tree to save us from any of that nonsense. It is bombs.
Oh yeah, going over to Tower of Light, I mean, we're already here, so might as well. We can technically full clear it. I'm not fully able to see the missile count. 35, that might actually be one too little if you want to go for missile, for the vanilla way to do it.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. Because what is it? It's 3, 6, 9, 12 per floor or whatever, and you got to do 24, 36. Yeah, you're right. Good math.
Okay. Meanwhile, hints on the other side starts to
Oh.
be training chamber exists.
Biohazard. My favorite.
Ruined gallery.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Security cave, and the last one should be walled. Yep. So.
I think I one I missed there. What was the one of mine's? Storage Depot B.
Yeah.
All right, not too bad. Ruined Gallery is kind of nice because now you know you don't have to go back for that morph ball check that we were talking about earlier.
At Farfan, we do have frigates.
Yeah, that required gravity might be some nonsense later on.
Other than that, it's well, Ice Beam over here and Tower of Light.
Interesting. Do you know what that opens up? FCS climb, baby.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe got something over, like Varian Overgrown Cavern or something.
We do have waves, so we could also go the other way around, so...
Don't disappoint me. Well, actually, technically they don't have Spider yet, so it's not in logic.
Yeah, true. Oh, and we are seeing the attempt from mcolyer to go for a slope jump into maybe the dashes here for a Tower of Light. And maybe just giving it a try and the switch now to Power Beam kind of tells me that we are just trying to peek the item with the cutscene now.
Yeah, sometimes even if I have all the have all the stuff to just dash up there, like sometimes it's nice to just see what the check is before actually going up there if I'm not feeling confident in my dashes. That first one's kind of a pain, so even if like it's an item you need, being able to skip having to do the first floor can make things a little more easy to get up there if you miss the jumps. It's like Hawk's cleaning up the bottom of Root Cave. We'll probably also go back to Chozo and do pretty much what mcolyer doing now. Tower Light, grab that Ice Beam, and I think from there we might see a route divergence, because things are pretty open now that we have Wave and Ice. We're kind of just looking for Varia or an excuse to potentially go through Frigate if we find something like Thermal and Gravity.
Nothing on the top of Tower of Light though. E-Tank would be nice to have at this point, but mcolyer not having the missiles to get there, and this is quite slow to get up there. We have already one which is double the amount of health we had before, so we have quite a bit more leniency on that side. Probably not worth to go back for that E-Tank ever.
Oh, Kirby Fun and chat bring up a good point. Might actually be beginner to get up to the actual furnace room without Spider, climbing that Spider track, but getting the actual upper furnace item is not beginner logic. So getting to Vanilla Ice as what we have right now is possible. So going through and not having to do FCF's climb is in logic. I think you're correct on that. Personally, though, I'm lazy and I like to do things backwards, so I would almost... It's probably slower, but there's a part of me that would want to do Zoid and then save warp and go through the backside, just to not have to hit the wave spot and avoid spawning all the ghosts in Chozo.
I mean, from a neutral standpoint, or the FCS clan, it's kind of nicer to route, definitely. But if you're already here for some other stuff, then you might just go from here.
We talked about that E-Tank in Tower of Light earlier and not grabbing it, and we are kind of at like a little bit of a scary point where like your first two A tanks are incredibly important. Like the first one obviously is very, very good, but getting that second one is just enough of a buffer that you're good in most areas. So it'll be interesting to see how far they'll go before they need to do a longer check to actually grab an E tank.
Like we will get. Huh? Yep. We are probably getting a Zoid check here. I mean, we do have bombs now, so it's 2 items.
Yeah, Zoid is unfortunately one of those checks where it feels like Randomizer likes to always put stuff there. Although I will say lately, with the seeds I've played at least, it has not had anything super crazy as of late. It's doing a standalone method I've not seen before to get to Tower of Late.
Yeah, it does also not really look like Hawk knows it. It really looks like he's actually getting or they are actually getting talked through it right now by their mentor.
Very well done, though. I think they got that first try.
Yep. Very well done. That's basically a good showcase of what this tournament is supposed to do. Having new runners learn new stuff even during the race if the mentors are able to teach them that. And we have seen quite a lot of this happening throughout the tournament so far. Always great to see.
Yeah, I do want to give out a shout out to like the tournament organizers because this whole concept has been really, really cool, and there's been a huge fluctuation of new runners coming in, and it ranges from people who like want to play it to race it to like was talking to someone the other day who basically jumped into this because they wanted to play in multi-worlds, and I thought this would be a cool way to learn as well, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, definitely helps to learn a lot of the stuff for multi-worlds to do various things, even when you actually don't have anything in logic to do. Yeah, I mean, trip to Zoid apparently paying off in some way as we get our second E-tank, which, as you said, does make health problems disappear quite a bit.
Yeah, I think even much more so if we end up seeing gravity and we end up getting pushed towards going through like mines early or something stupid to skip Magmore. I hope for their sake they don't have to do that, but that is also a possibility. Some very nice missile sniping from Hawk, by the way. Managing to not hit these Roombas.
Making it up all the way. Tower of Light grabbing that E-tank. So we'll be having an advantage in health terms.
Yeah, that might come into play later because like if you end up having to play safe with like low health, it can slow you down quite considerably. Still looking for that key piece of tech that's going to get us out of Chozo, though. Haven't found anything yet. I think someone earlier made a guess at Antechamber, and I'm starting to wonder if that might be the case.
I mean, it's not unlikely at this point, I'd say. Maybe still not likely, but it definitely wouldn't surprise me at this point.
For those new to Metroid, by the way, you'll see on mcolyer screen they're going for a bit of a climb. If you look into the left corner of this little spiral track, hold into it and jump, you'll kind of stick. So you can jump repeatedly, get up the side, and then you can kind of like finagle your way into the morph ball hole with your morph ball, allowing you to skip spider.
Yeah, look, mcolyer was holding Aldo, attempting that, which actually prevents you from getting stuck, in my experience.
Yeah, I think it also helps to look at almost like a 45-degree angle into the left side, which I think they're starting to do a little bit more.
They definitely got up
there we go.
times now. So, turn too early.
Looks like they're probably learning this on the fly. They're picking it up pretty quick, though.
Yep. Almost had it. Just get up there and morph. Well, Hawk may be on the way back to. I should have got some more bombs. Oh yeah.
Oh, you know what? I don't hate this. They're going back to grab that artifact. You might as well do it now while you're in the area. Or save warping? Oh, just saving in general. Okay. I was a little confused there. There is potential Hawk might grab this artifact, save warp, and do FCF climb.
Oh, we may just see the save warp right now.
Yeah.
Not grabbing the
mcolyer gets it, by the way.
Oh, just careful, not fall down.
Oh! Does get it. Well done. It's definitely not the easiest trick that's in Logic.
Nope. Try
It's like upper furnace is just a missile.
Yeah. Yeah, we be seeing that FCS climb here on Hawk side.
Yeah, for any of you fanboys that wanted to see the new Logic in play, Hawk will be doing that FCS climb. We'll see how they do it. There's a couple different ways you can do this climb.
There's plasma here in Crossway.
Is that what it was?
It definitely looked like a beam, and we're only missing one.
This can be a tricky room without boost ball. You can get her across with an R jump, but if you're not familiar with them, they can be a bit challenging to get. You can also do a bit of a slope jump off the half pipe as well. You can also get this item with space jump, but it is a bit more of a challenge of a trick. We'll see if they go for it or not. Another thing to consider based on your skill set is if this is an item that's going to take you a very long time to get, it may not be worth it to get it right now and come back for it later when you find boost, because that is the only thing you're missing. Oh, boost and spider. My apologies. Looks like mcolyer is probably getting a quick tutorial from their mentor on how to get through this room. It's actually really cool to watch these runners learn new tricks on the fly. Oh, does get the first animal, it looks like.
And let off. Again.
Ooh, just barely doesn't get it.
Wait. Oh, so close. mcolyer has made it to the other side of Crossway, is now making up the standables here.
Yeah, let's see how they do. This can be a tricky jump. There's two different ways to do this. One through the top of the rafters. The other way it looks like they're going for right now, where you kind of like jump into the crevice on the left side.
This is the second standable on this wall though.
Yeah, this can be probably the most frustrating thing with learning Crossway, is falling means you have to do all the tricks over again. Yeah, I think wisely makes the decision to go ahead and come back later.
Yep. They know that plasma is in Crossway now, so that will definitely be helpful to incorporate into routing from here on out.
Yeah, I completely agree, because I think from mcolyer's point of view, they have knowledge that Hawk currently doesn't have and may not get depending on their routing.
Already on that super.
mcolyer will be able to check the ice beam check in this room. So it is possible that could be something.
It should also be fully in logic, given that FCS climb is in logic, and we can get from to here from there. So could actually be something like spider or boost ball.
mcolyer actually showcasing one of the easier spider ball skips in the game. You can jump on this little outcropping.
Right. Oh.
And jump up to the platform.
Gets it. So at least being able to skip one animation here.
Oh, going for the jump straight from the statue. That's actually something I need to learn. I still do it the way that they're doing right now.
Yeah, that jump is... It sometimes is a bit annoying to do. It's one of those that if you do it right, it looks easily doable, but if you don't, you're just barely not making it. We do have a missile expansion. Fortunately, mcolyer not being able to check Elder Chamber here too, given that plasma has not been acquired yet.
I do like what mcolyer is doing though, where they're going for the hard jump at least once, and then going and just doing whatever their backup is. That kind of like mindset is really good for learning tricks.
Yep.
Do it once each time, eventually you start getting it more consistently.
Still struggling with that frigate climb.
It's actually the frigate climb I don't prefer. I think the I don't know if it's the newer method or an older method, but the other method I think is a little bit easier. It looks like they just made it up though. Perfect. All right, cool.
Well, not that way. Just one last look jump up here. It's not hard. Just take this way. Yep, and there we go.
Nice. And we're gonna have a bit of a ooh thermal.
Thermal. Well,
Ooh.
I'm not sure you would like to see that at this point in time.
I'm surprised they're pushing back out, actually. Oh, I think I know what they're about to do. I think Hawk is about to go check cargo freight lift. That is actually brilliant.
We know the artifact in Biohazard containment, and we can get it right now.
I think the more important aspect is cargo freight lift has a really nasty habit of having like gravity or other progression because you can save warp out of there.
Yeah.
So I think this play is very smart. If they find gravity, that means they can just literally push all the way through. Some people might consider it a bit of a Hail Mary play, but this is actually a play I really like because if you go here and everyone else ignores it, it's like a lot of times can set you very far into the lead. mcolyer is going for anti-chamber. Oh, did they or are they saving first? I missed it. Oh, it was a missile, wasn't it?
I actually did not pay attention.
Yeah, it must have been like a missile or something. It's like looks like they're gonna go ahead and leave. Or maybe not.
Yeah, maybe they actually forgot about it, checking Godfall Spider-Man. No, they did check it, so they have it. I mean, we do have X-ray, so is it Overgrown Cavern?
Overgrown Cavern is the one that had thermal. I can't remember the name of the other one, but it's toward Life Grow. We're thinking of the same place, I think.
Yeah, we're thinking about the same place. That's where my knowledge of room names is still not at the best. But yeah, that one.
I always refer to this place as just like far challenge. Because you usually just do all the checks at once.
And the unfortunate thing here is we don't have boost balls, so we can't really do the other checks here.
Hmm. They're going to go ahead and take out both these plants and then head to that one item check that they can do. Yeah, two interesting plays from both players. We're going to see two opposite checks that I don't think the other player will get anytime soon unless mcolyer does a backtrack through overground and then goes straight to frigate, which they might do. But if Hawk finds something here, it could be actually kind of huge. Var, just a suit of any kind would actually be crazy.
I mean, the way mcolyer is able to route this, if you go back now to pick up thermal, you could just go right into frigate then and there.
Yeah, I agree. I do think routing-wise, it's probably the better choice.
Even more so since mcolyer has actually done all of the checks here in for Chozo. Cargo freight lift is now in logic with thermal, and we still don't have barrier, so we are locked out of pretty much three-fourths of the game, somewhat.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm so excited to see what Hawk gets here, because I think if you do get a suit, you don't bother going back to Chozo. I think you either take Varia, go into Magmore, or you take the Gravity and you push through and go into Mines. Looks like Hawk is doing a little bit of rubbing on the left wall there. It needs to be a little bit more on the right, and they'll have the slope jump. If you get it really cleanly, it's pretty fun because you get launched pretty high in the air with the slope. There they go. Nice.
Corridor did take a few moments to read the hints now.
Yeah, I wonder how that'll affect their routing.
Might actually be some communication happening right now. Yeah, going into overgrown cavern, and we'll be finding that thermal visor.
I'm so curious what's that cargo freight lift. Show me the fun progression. What is it? It's a suit. It's gravity. Oh, you take that. You pick that up. You go straight into Mines.
Yep, that is what the seed wants. You just go.
Yeah, ain't no turning around now. You still gotta hit the spot though.
Yeah. Easy to forget, but yeah, you do now want to go all the way here.
I will never stop preaching the importance of cargo freight lifts. It's like that weird isolated check by itself, but it's like, I swear, gravity there is... It feels like it shows up there so often.
Means we will be able to pick up one artifact very nicely. It is kind of unfortunate though that we do not have boost ball yet, so if our runners are not able to do bar skip, and we have to leave lower mines and have to come back later, or upper mines and have to come back later, it is somewhat annoying that we couldn't open up the bars. But I mean, we don't really have much options at this point. I mean, they're still planned, I guess, but I don't think that's a thought on anyone's mind at this point.
Yeah, I think the true downside, honestly, is going to Mines without that Plasma. With Plasma, they could have cleaned up Mines pretty dang well. Looks like Collier is opting to not go into frigate, by the way. Unless they're turning around. Nope. Which is going to be unfortunate because they might be going to Flagara and may possibly last location this gravity suit.
Yeah.
Kirby fan brings up a good point. What if Varia's in hat? Ooh. Yeah, I gotta be a little careful with the low health here. Luckily, these are novice turrets and not the insane turrets from mines, so I believe one ice shot actually freezes them forever.
Getting hit here.
That is a very rough death. Yep, I think they just need to take a couple seconds to breathe and just keep going, though. They have knowledge that's very important, so they can just go ahead, grab their items, get back to where they were. Actually not the worst thing in the world. Like, literally, I think all they have to do is just turn around, go through Overgrown Cavern, and then head to Cargo Freight Lifts again. So it actually doesn't slow them down that much.
I think this save here is way back earlier, even before the frigate trash side climb here from Hawk.
Oh.
That is back over at a near ruined gallery for picking up the artifact.
Still okay, though. I still think if they head straight to Cargo Freight Lift, they're still going to have the lead. Because mcolyer is back in Chozo doing checks. It can definitely be demoralizing, but you should never be too disheartened from taking a death. Because, like, a lot of the times you can pick yourself back up and still win. Sometimes having the knowledge is more important than actually having the items.
Yep. Looking for orientation. Does find the way back towards frigate.
Yeah, that is the downside of refreezing or freezing turrets. Is you do end up in a situation where it can mess with your lock-on.
No, unfortunate for mcolyer here, ghosts being annoying here in the big room before Flagra. Because that is where mcolyer is apparently intending to head to, because it's the only other tech that is available right now. In logic. mcolyer still has the advantage of the other knowledge of the plasma location as an advantage.
Yeah, I was gonna say I still firmly put Hawk in the lead here, personally. Practice paying off, by the way. Hawk gets back up there, no problem.
Much quicker than the first time. Now that the trick has been learned, it just needs to be mastered.
I was gonna say, if nothing else, the amount of skills that these two have learned just in like past hour are like crazy good. And straight back into Cargo Freight Lift.
mean, Hawk does know about the gravity in there, so it does make a lot of sense. It is what the seed kind of wants us to do. Or we at least assume so. I mean, you never know. Maybe Varia is just simply vanilla, and we
I was
fooled you
thinking
very
that.
hard.
Yeah. If Varia is vanilla, that would be the biggest red herring I've ever seen.
I mean, I've played a few different randos over the last years. I've learned never to rule out anything. Like, randos just have a nasty tendency to just do what you expect the least.
Yeah. Looks like mcolyer is going for this space jump method, throwing the bombs in the bomb slot. Can be a little scary though, and they're getting a little health is a little dicey on Flagger. The swipe attacks do quite a bit of damage. So they do have to be a little careful here. May opt to go back to doing it the vanilla way. Oh, on me out. Guess not. Does get the bomb slot there. I think that's just one more on their side. Or maybe two more. Yeah. Takes minimal damage on that one. Meanwhile, Hawk making quick work of this first room and frigate, having picked up on that slope jump much better this time. mcolyer doing really good on Flagger, actually. It can be like I've died very easily, only having like one E-tick of health left on that fight, falling into the acid, so that was very good.
Even more so if the seed is taken a bit already. Stuff hasn't been that great, and yeah, sometimes that can affect your movement, your execution. So and that mental game can influence such situations even more so, and then you want to play extra safe, but maybe get in a bit of panic, and that can do some bad things to you. But mcolyer.
Oh, mcolyer's stuck!
Yeah.
I mean, that might have been a thing where, like, you already know the item there's crap. Maybe you have a save somewhere to check frigate real quick. Might as well just go for early wild. Worst case scenario, you die and you have a very quick warp back to your ship.
Yeah, I guess.
So I actually don't mind that at all, because it's not like you're going to reset, because that's way slower. So you might as well take the intentional death. Although they're not going the direction I expected.
Which,
What checks do they have left? Yeah, they might be realizing that they've isolated it to one check. I will say, as far as the stuff that Randomania can spit out based on these settings, this is a very difficult seed, requiring pretty good knowledge of the toolkit required for this preset. And I think both these runners are actually doing very well, all things considered.
Absolutely. Like, I've been in a similar situation in the very first week of this tournament, and having a good mentor with me there helped so much getting throughout the seat there. So I definitely can feel or I can imagine how the runners are feeling with this and are probably extremely glad they have someone by their side to guide them through here.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in early tournament matches, like one of my biggest weaknesses personally is just getting over tournament nerves in general. Like it's really easy to just be nervous and everything you've learned flies out the window. So having someone to help you out, pat you on the back, keep your nerves calmed a little bit, it helps a lot.
Meanwhile, that was the first artifact pickup of this race over on the side of Hawk. Getting that artifact from Biohazard containment. And turning around.
Oh, I hope they're not turning around. They may be going back to Chozo to clean up. Oh, no. This is going to be very unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, they have still far Chozo open, the rest there, which I can see getting tempted by that, so maybe making the save here. Oh, nope, just taking the warp out.
Yeah, I don't know about that play. I think on any level, regardless of what checks you have left prior, you might as well push through and see what's at least like in main quarry and such. It can be a little scary to go down there with minimal E-tanks, and maybe you're hoping for something a little bit easier. But if you're already there and you have all the stuff to get through there, at least not even like not checking a hat either is a bit much. So a bit unfortunate on that.
I mean, on the other hand, I kind of can see it that we don't have spiders, so we don't have easy access to the safe station or up there in upper mines anyway. And given that there's
yeah, and there's knowledge of that plasma as well that's currently locked technically by Spider and Boost Ball.
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually. I didn't think of that. Has Hawk been up through a root cave yet?
I mean, we had something with.
Yeah, are they going to Magmore? They must have forgotten that they already done those checks.
Yeah.
There is another side of this too, where if you can find enough E-tanks, you do need a fairly decent amount, but you can circumvent not having Varia and break your way into Fem, which in some race cases can actually unwind things in a way that make it way, way faster.
I mean, yeah, we do have gravity, so we don't even need to necessarily need to do this scan dash through, what is twin?
Going through the backside, skipping Spider, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And if I remember correctly, only that room is heated in there, so if you manage to get through there, you don't actually lose health through heat anymore.
That would be interesting.
I definitely remember something to that effect happening in the further rooms of Magmore. Anyway, though, mcolyer has picked up Gravity Suit, and given that there's no other logical checks to do for them anymore. Oh,
Hawk didn't have bombs. I completely whiffed on that.
yeah, I was.
Was it from the death? Did they lose him?
They just never picked them Huh.
Oh. I can't remember if they missed them or just lost them during the death.
I actually don't think they do. I kind of assumed they picked it up. I did not remember actually seeing it though, but they went through there with supers.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot more sense why they didn't go through Frigate. It is possible that they had that death, lost the bombs, went back through Frigate, and then only realized as they were getting up that they didn't have them. And then opted to come back to clean up Chozo because of it.
Yeah. Oh. Means we do have another artifact now.
I will say, if nothing else, if we're thinking positive here, Hawk would be able to clean up a couple of artifacts in Chozo. Because we still have Vault as well.
Yep.
And with Varia, if they can get another E-Tank, it is... Like, or not with Varia, with Gravity, it is actually possible to grab the Chaining Chamber access artifact as well. A little low on E to do it, but it is possible.
Well, we don't have Wario though, so Grapple Beam won't work. And given what we've seen so far, I'm not really sure we could expect the dashes through. Or do you mean going in there in reverse?
Well, with Gravity, you can, there's a rock on the back you can jump off of.
I completely banked on Gravity for a moment.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. I was very surprised that they had turned around. Well, we'll see what they do here. Worst case scenario, like I said before, they pick up artifacts and they don't have to come back for cleanup later, or do minimal cleanup later.
I mean, Vault is just right here. Unfortunate.
I'm interested to see what's in Hat. Because there could be a bit here where you're actually not supposed to go to mines and you're supposed to get like Varia and Hat or something silly.
It was called out before.
Yeah.
I apparently missed mcolyer pick up the artifact. I guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they picked it up at a biohazard while we were talking about Hawk.
Yeah. Almost. Looked very good there. The long jumps. Timing can be a bit tricky to get down.
Yeah, I suck at that bomb jump. Just the missile expansion, so... Yes, we are going to yield mines.
Two mines we go.
Here's the real kicker. If Hawk gets this plasma beam and then makes their way to mines after picking up at least, you know, some of these artifacts, that could be a big game changer going forward. It is also possible that they just go ahead and head straight to plant, but unsure of what their routing thought process might be at the moment.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
I mean...
Echoing. I was just going to say, echoing what you said earlier, by the way, mcolyer will be unable to open the boost ball area, which is very unfortunate. All right, let's see what mine says. This will be a little interesting since we don't have a spider. So I think there's a couple of options here. It's possible we push through and oh, so we need boost as well. So something has to be here. Whether it's boost, spider, or Varia.
Oh, can you imagine just going down here to grab Varia and go back out? Like,
Yeah.
This sounds like something Randomizer would do.
Yeah. Because I don't think logically spider is required to get to that save station, because I think you can jump there from the top side. It's kind of a pain, but you can do it. You're gonna try to jump there normally. I think you can only reach that with an R jump, though. Oh, never mind. I'm wrong.
That's very good because now you can save. Then and whatever happens, you can have the fallback just being able to respawn here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the implications of going through upper mines, right? So we don't have spider. But we also don't have boost, which means we can't get access to past elite research, I think is the name of the room, with Philip. So you need boost to spin the thing to open the door to get to the spider track room. I don't think the spinner manip is beginner knowledge, unless I am incorrect on that.
That shouldn't be, as far as I know. Which is not that much, granted. But,
never mind, I'm wrong. They have grapple. They can just go across here.
That's the way they could go.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure the spinner manip is definitely not in logic at all. Like, I mean, we do have X-ray, so we could get at least a peek at the item.
Mm-hmm.
But don't think we are supposed to get it without boost.
Gonna get that first check in mines. This shouldn't be anything too crazy. Yeah, looks like it's just an E-tank. First thing I kind of expect to be something is this gonna be this next check in the hallway here. I'm not gonna pretend like I know what the room name is.
Security access?
Oh, that'll be the one after. This is the flamethrower check, and then there's also the PB check in the wall.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of this room, though.
I know there's the item here. That's about the most thing.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes. Oh, we do get the PB back at least. That's kind of nice.
Oh, they forgetting about the item? Oh, they're gonna turn off the turrets first. Okay.
Yeah, they just wanted to turn off the turret.
I love the powerbomb drops in this room.
Oh.
Okay. Troll mock droid. It's like Hawk trying to do the spider ball skip up into upper furnace. Just has to do a little bit more wiggle. Also, what's this slow climb? I haven't seen that before. That was weird. They're just like holding into the wall?
Almost up there, but not quite. Falling down. And...
yeah, I could be wrong on this, but I think actually being dead center on the track when you morph is not as good as like being off to the side and then holding forward as you morph.
I would tend to agree with you on that.
Oh, it's security access A into storage depot A.
Yeah.
Those are the name of the rooms. It's all just upper mines to me.
Like I can put the room names together if I read them for artifacts and know where I have to go, but the other way around is usually not working for me.
mcolyer taking out these wave pirates. It is a little interesting because if you do a fully charged wave shot, it gives enough time to get out of the stun and start moving again. So they're doing a pretty good method of doing like a 3/4 charge to keep them from moving, but still getting like the full damage on them. I think it takes like 3 of those shots to kill them each.
Did mcolyer peak starts depot A?
No plasma, unfortunately.
All right. So, it's
Wave or stealth pirates being stealth pirates.
I mean, we do have all the technology available to make things visible to us.
Like I put that. We have the technology. This reminds me of that SpongeBob scene where Patrick's smashing the dollar bill with this computer. We do have PBs, so it looks like we will be seeing a G. Philip fight.
Wait, yeah, I mean, no, we should have access to some of lower mines? Question mark. Because we know
Yeah.
Storage Depot B is an artifact, and we don't have boosts, so whatever in this room, I think Elite Research is this?
Yeah,
That's not available.
Yeah. So we can check Philip here, and then I think from here, if you wanted to, you could climb an X-ray check. That's up to them if they decide to do that or not. Looks like mcolyer is going to do the strat where before you start firing, you can start strafing, which resets their AI until they look directly at you, which means you can just spam missiles until they fall. And I think you need about like 28 or something like that, so they should have just enough. I actually don't know the missile count, might be less than that.
They have done the fight as has done the climb up to upper furnace, and that's just a missile here on the pirate here.
Looks like they will bump into that pivotal knowledge of where plasma is. Looks like mcolyer is going to go ahead and do that climb, see that X-ray check, and then from there, they're going to have to wrap around, use grapple to get across the gap, and head to lower mines. When they get to lower mines, they'll be able to check boombox, and then they can make the choice to dip into lower mines. But honestly, the better play might be to just go to PPC, check the item there, maybe peek PCA, and then leave through to Magmore and head to Fendrana.
If
Third
they
is in
can
logic.
get up there, as they do not have Spider Ball, but they should be able to find that really soon, either that or boost.
That's a good point, actually. I didn't think about that. Climbing PPC without Spider Ball, I don't think is beginner logic.
Oh no, definitely not.
So I mean, you're right. That means something has to be here, whether it's Spider or Varia. So if you don't find Spider by the time you're basically going to PPC, you have to dip into lower mines. This might be something really dumb, where Varia is like the last possible check in lower mines that you can do without Spider. And then you're expected to leave save warp and then go through Magmar normally.
We do have Hawk here attempting to get that plasma beam.
If they can get it, that's going to be huge. Not just from like a check point of view, but just for combat in general, thermal is or plasma is so much nicer. Yep, for anyone joining the stream, we have quite the seed rolled for us. As you can see, plasma's in Crossway. We found our other 2 beams, but no Varia. Gravity was on cargo freight lift, and Logic is currently expecting you to go into mines to find something, which is what we're seeing on mcolyer's screen. Hawk dipped into Frigate, did not have bombs, had to come back to Chozo to find the bombs. We, as the spectators, know there's nothing else in Chozo other than this plasma. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. If Hawk gets this plasma, that does give him a bit of an edge. Otherwise, mcolyer is in the lead, having already dipped through Frigate into mines.
I mean, the few checks we don't know in Chozo are the plasma lock checks. We have not seen phase on Stewed yet. That could technically be in one of those checks. So that's something to keep in the back of the minds. But logically, there's nothing left that could be in Chozo right now that we should access.
It's like mcolyer does make it to the top. They're going to X-ray to see what this item is. It's just a missile, it looks like.
Yeah.
So from here, they're going to have to backtrack. Unless, oh, are they going for Spinnermanip? It would be a lot faster. I think even with the time it takes, it's still faster than going all the way around.
Would it be, though, if you cannot really climb ore processing without Spider?
I think it's fairly easy to teach, maybe? Oh no, you're right. To actually get into ore processing, you need Spider, I think. I always get that.
True, that too.
Access. Yeah. Unless I'm thinking of it backwards. I always get it backwards. Which way you can fall through the shaft and which way you need to climb up the Spider.
I never know.
Also, Hawk getting really close to getting this plasma. If they can get this jump. Oh, that was so close!
I think they bonked on the corner there before going around it, which left them unable to get over to where they need to be in time on that one.
Yeah, I think you can bump a little bit because you actually don't want to go too high because too much downward momentum keeps you from landing inside the hole there. Your vertical speed has to be pretty low to actually get into the slot. Yeah, I like the angle they're looking at here. It makes it a little bit easier to see. I think the jump was too early. They are getting it, though. I think Hawk will be able to get this plasma beam if they keep trying.
Yeah, the worst thing about this is it's definitely very annoying to get around back to retry that last point. Getting up to that is actually not that hard from my experience. Like, you can get there consistently up to here fairly fast.
I think it's honestly harder to get across the pit than it actually is to climb up here.
Yeah. I would agree to that. Just this last jump is the one.
Oh yeah! That's huge. Okay, I'm excited now. Because that flips this whole race on its head.
Meanwhile, it looks like mcolyer is attempting that spinner man up. Oh, that didn't look that bad.
Yeah, if nothing else, learning how to do a spinner manip is a very powerful tool.
And gets through.
Nice. Yeah, okay, yeah, they can get into ore processing. If they learn the ore processing climb, they can conceivably get up and skip having to go all the way around.
Yep.
They might opt not to, though. Okay, yeah, looks like they're gonna go ahead and just head backwards.
Oh, maybe not.
Nope. Maybe not. To try to make a decision.
I mean, the way back through here is quite a bit painful with how many pirates are going to spawn in here.
Mm-hmm.
You do not need to defeat them, but you only or mcolyer only has one E-tank left and a bit extra health, which can be gone quite fast here.
Yeah, especially only with one suit. The damage reduction is going to be a lot lower as if you had two. So it can be a little dicey. The good news is the pirates you'll find in here, I believe, should be ice this time around. Oh, I don't know if I... Okay. Yeah, don't try to morph ball through. Just use ice, freeze them, and then missile them. I think this is your best bet. If you want to do this nice and slow. This first ice pirate being very nice, though, deciding to show its back. Hawk's going to get a look at a Chozo check we have not seen yet. They should be going for Elder Chamber, utilizing that plasma that they just received.
Should hopefully remember to do the wave slot before that
Oh boy, mcolyer! Oh boy!
Yeah, this is not going to work. I mean, fortunately though, mcolyer did not get anything useful.
Yeah, actually, honestly, in a weird twisted way, that probably saved them time.
Yeah. Well, they got an extra E-tank, which is kind of painful not to have, I guess.
Hawk's gonna go ahead and open up the wave slot and then go ahead and do the other two checks. They won't find anything in the ice section of this room. I can't remember the names. It's Elder Chamber and Elder something.
Pretty sure
But
it's all of the elders.
Yeah, all the elders. The actual Elder Chambers one with plasma will be a new one for us, though. mcolyer making their way up this room, main quarry. Just need to grapple across, and then they will check the last check they have in upper mines, and will progress to lower, and hopefully find something.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, unfortunately, gets before the final swing over there that mcolyer wanted to take, gets shot down by a pirate there.
Yeah, the fact that damage knocks you out of grapple will forever be one of my least favorite mechanics. Game refuses to let you go fast.
Yeah.
All right, Hawk, let's see what you got. If you find Varia, that's gonna make this a little awkward. Or honestly, just anything. Oh boy.
Oh, well, that's not Varia, but it is suit indeed.
That is a nasty spot. The good news for mcolyer is when he goes back to get plasma, we'll probably check this location.
Probably. It is close by, but I guess mcolyer has to fight the ghosts again in this room. So by that point might be distant. Well, but
I mean, I don't hate this for Hawk though, because he's going into mines with an extra suit and an extra E-tank.
No, it's absolutely great for Hawk. I'm just thinking about if mcolyer maybe has actually reason to not do the Elder Chamber check, which I don't think is going to happen.
The only possibility is if they get plasma super late, but they really can't because you're gonna need it for some of these fen checks. Security cave is the plasma check, or is that the one at the top?
I want to say the way I remembered it was the meme in chat that security cave is actually the one with less securities. I guess that one is the one on top.
Oh, that's a good way to remember that, actually. I like that.
Like I might be off here, but I kind of remember there's something according to those lines being across the races.
Yeah, these two runners being put through the grinder. This is one of the worst gen seeds I think I've ever seen so far this tournament. Just the force to have to go through mines. Also, that plasma technically not being on logic is not my favorite. mcolyer has yet to find the progression that's supposed to get him to move forward, by the way. He's running out of checks. It has to be somewhere in mines.
There's at least one more E-tank. That's nice to see.
Yeah, I bet he's very happy to see that E-tank. Going through lower mines with 2 E-tanks and no suits other than just the one gravity is not the best. So I think the best routing from mcolyer here is to potentially go to PPC, just to see what the item is, because if it's spider, that means you can leave. If it's not spider, then you just start going down through lower mines until you find something. So I assume going forward, that's probably what they're going to do. Possibly PCA, but I would not be surprised if they didn't.
I mean, you have 3 E-tanks. I probably wouldn't want to risk it at this point.
It's kind of where my thought process was. Is in fact going to find spider in PPC. Okay, so not the worst location. Yeah, I would say at this point you take it and you get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I mean, we know where plasma is, so our mines are not really seeming that attractive. We actually don't really
Magmore? We're seeing Magmore from Hawk.
I mean, yeah, got Phasant, so the with I want to say vanilla damage reductions on for this preset, so Phasant actually giving us the best defense.
I actually really like this play.
Yeah,
because at this point, go ahead.
Now, because we see what I kind of mentioned earlier. Now we still don't have barrier, but we do not take heat damage here anymore. Which is not an effect of Phasant, but rather that this room is not dealing heat damage anymore, or not dealing heat damage at all. So yeah, being able to get here thanks to gravity, even without using spider, we're just really easily able to sequence break into Pandrana here, or get into mines from here.
They're going to be missing spider, but honestly, it's kind of okay. I'm trying to think here.
I mean,
I don't think
they could just go into mines from here. They have everything. Well, they have they? They should have main power bombs. So
I don't know from their perspective if the mine play makes sense. You can't get to upper mines without spider, so you'd have to go lower mines, and you're going lower mines without boost.
That
also,
yeah, I didn't think about that. That is true.
Do they have main PDs?
I try to remember. I'm not sure.
Well, we'll see what next time I turn Morphle, I guess. Because if they don't have main PBs, they're definitely not going down there.
But didn't we have to find main PBs for our logic? Yeah, I think they should have main PBs for an I'm see.
I'm pretty sure they do too.
Because they needed PBs to get to supers logically, which then locked our morph bombs. So
I think regardless, as Hawk here, you definitely go to the save station and make a save regardless of what you do. It's
right.
potential you could do a save here and then go to mines.
I mean, you could check PPC at least that way. It is kind of weird. They know that frigate going through frigate is logic. So they have to expect it at this point that something could be down there. But without spider, not getting up to upper mines, which has more checks available where progression can be, then I don't know. Hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think from a runner's perspective, you could make either choice. I would almost want to say lean into the plasma and just go to Fen. Yeah, I like this. You have thermal, so Thardus is in logic. You have grapple, so you can do quarantine monitor. And then when you break into early Fen, everything is basically free game. You don't have spider, but you can still do the checks that require spider by peeking them.
It's a bit unfortunate if you do not know the way to get up There's an artifact in Farfen, security cave, that we
Oh.
would like to grab here.
Looks like Baja might be teaching them. Oh, they're gonna get it first try, I think.
Looking good.
Nice.
There we go.
I actually quite do like this play because you already have gravity. You know you got to go back here anyway. You have everything to do it. You might as well go back there, grab it, and if you run into anything, could assist you throughout the rest of the playthrough. So with Baja, Hawk might be able to piece together that there's something in mines that has to get them through here. So they probably do know that Spider kind of has to be in mines in order to escape to this side. Or they, like, so if they bump into, like, Varia or something in Farfen, they know for a fact that I think Spider has to be in mines at that point. So maybe that's what they're betting on.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you can skip that Spider, maybe snipe the boost ball in Fen now. That will actually help you because try to remember, do we need Spider necessarily for anything?
There's Varia.
Suit.
So they know now, for sure.
Okay, this is just gross.
So they know for a fact Spider has to be in mines. Something that can be kind of dangerous for them, though, is if they think Spider is in upper mines, they would have to go through Frigate to get Spider.
Oh.
But if they go and check lower mines and find it, it's going to be actually kind of massive. I did not see what was in Quarantine Monitor, by the way. It looks like mcolyer is going to sort of catch up, but from a different angle with different items.
There's an artifact in Training Chamber access. So if you want to use grapple to get that, you need that barrier.
Looks like mcolyer will end up finding it. They're heading that direction.
Looks like it.
I have no idea who's in the lead here. This is so weird. I think I have to give the edge actually to Hawk a little bit.
I think so.
I think it all depends on how they approach getting to mines.
Yeah.
If they take the gamble going to lower and find Spider, I think that's going to save them a crap ton of time. Also, going through mines with 4 E-tanks at least, and all 3 suits. Or, I guess if it's vanilla suit reduction, the 3rd suit doesn't matter? I always get tripped up on how that works. Yeah, from mcolyer's point of view, I think the other thing that might trip this up is when they go for plasma, and if they decide to immediately use that plasma to look for phase-on suit. Because they're pretty close to each other, with phase-on suit requiring plasma. So that'll be a story in itself as well.
There's also the thing, if mcolyer finds boost ball before picking a plasma, could be tempted to maybe do live growth checks, which then would put the phase-on suit on his way to there. On the other hand, by that point you would probably be in artifact mode, so you might be disincentivized.
Yeah, I think it's all going to come down to what they do later on. It's funny how we're at a point where what they do during like their time in Fen is kind of inconsequential, because like they're both doing the same things with the like the items required, I guess. Like, obviously Hawk doesn't have spider, but I guess mcolyer doesn't have plasma. I just thought of that. So if there's
Right.
something here,
What? Oh, if that is boost here in Storage Cave, that would be absolutely backbreaking. I think anything else would probably not matter at this point.
I think you're right.
Wouldn't logically require it, or we wouldn't really we wouldn't hard require it. It could be just nice to have. So yeah, that's nothing. That does not matter at all.
Good for mcolyer though.
Yep.
I'm gonna take a gamble. I'm gonna say boost is in labs. Looks like mcolyer is gonna go ahead and grab that Varia. Boost could also be in Magmar, actually. I just realized.
Yeah, I wanted to just say maybe it's just Magma.
Another artifact for Hawk.
Getting up there. There's the training chamber access. And
Storage Depot B for Hawk. So Hawk is literally just looking to get these last two artifacts.
no, Hawk should have Storage Depot B. Hawk was the one going through Frigate and Upper Mines, so grab that on the way. It's... Which one's missing?
Is the Storage Depot B the mines check? Hawk shouldn't have that.
The Storage Depot B is Vanilla Grapple. That was Upper Mines,
Right.
should have been on the way. So I'm pretty sure Hawk has that one.
Hawk hasn't been to mines yet. mcolyer has been to mines.
I'm confusing stuff now.
Yeah, no worries.
This is breaking me.
I don't blame you. So yeah, boost ball's not actually required now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, getting it would be an advantage just to make Ridley a little bit quicker. And for movement.
So
Yeah, so Hawk has Storage Depot B and Training Chamber access. And with that variant toe, they can now do both of those. It's possible they're poking around for Spider, but they should be able... maybe their mentor would be able to intuit, depending on how closely they're playing with them, that Spider has to be in mines at this point. There's Boost Ball and Gravity Chamber. Okay.
well, yeah, that should paint the whole picture for Hawk here.
I think this comes down to whether or not they make the gamble of going through lower mines, or if they try to go all the way through Frigate again. I hate the seed. This is awful.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can say I hate the seed. My emotions have just been eradicated. They are not there anymore.
Yeah, for anyone curious, Jay did in fact gen this. Yeah, I think what Hawk does in the next few minutes is going to be very, very important. Unfortunately, going to get bullied by these fly rates a little bit. Meanwhile, it looks like mcolyer is going to make their way up to pick up their third artifact. I think for mcolyer, that just leaves them with the 3 Chozo artifacts left.
Sounds about right.
Which now this kind of gets interesting. Because if they save warp and go do artifact cleanup, they might bump into plasma, which would lead them to Phazon suit. So yeah, the routing choices that are going to be made the next couple minutes, I think, are going to be pretty race deciding. Looks like mcolyer will get boost too. They are going that direction, unless they decide to bypass the gravity chamber room. I highly doubt they'll do that though.
Looks like intending to be safe warping here. Or
Oh, for Hawk? Yeah.
at least taking a safe here. Sure. I mean, if you were to go into low mines from here, you would definitely. I think you would take the safe at the workstation, not this one here. So this is probably a safe warp.
Yeah, I think they're taking the safe play, which is going through frigate, which I don't blame them for. It's like you have to know that Spider. Yeah, Hawk's in go mode. He just needs to go get his last artifact. Or last 2 artifacts. Training Chamber and Storage Depot B. It's just more of whether... It's the time frames it would take, based if they took the gamble to go to the lower mines to see if Spider was there or not. Because since... I think they, at this point, had, like... I keep bringing it up, but they probably have intuited at this point that Spider has to be in mines in order to escape, get Varia, and Fen.
Yeah. And given that they just needed barrier for training chamber access, and
so it's probably just a routing thing to save time. You know what? This kind of makes sense. This is the safe play. You go this direction. You don't need Spider in the first place. I actually kind of agree with this.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, you have to go through frigate, but I mean, it's consistent. You know where you're going. You pretty much get to main quarry after getting the artifact in Chozo, and then all you need to do is grapple across.
Yep.
So I think mcolyer at this point is just looking for this boost ball. When they find it, they'll probably backtrack to get plasma.
I would assume so. mcolyer definitely has the information about plasma. Has been there way earlier than Hawk was not able to get it at that time.
Yeah.
So with having found or with finding boost soon, they have everything but that plasma and Phazon, which again they are next to each other pretty much. And mcolyer knows of plasma, just does not know about Phazon being right there.
I still think this is anyone's race. Like, I think definitely Hawk has the edge, because they have a very clear route of where they need to go. But there is I still think a pretty solid chance that mcolyer could make the right routing choices that could potentially put them in the lead.
And I mean, we still are only on 4 E-tanks for Orc, and only 3? Oh, well, there's a bit. mcolyer is picking up boost ball. Yeah, I was about to say, we're still on only 4 E-tanks. If the... No, just to the left here, Hawk. If the final fights are going bad, there is chance there that you could die on it, and that could be giving your opponent a chance to catch up or get ahead even more.
Yeah, I do think that unfortunately the nail in the coffin might actually just end up being mcolyer not having enough E-tanks.
Yeah.
I think even if you make all the right plays here, getting to final bosses with just 3 E-tanks is really sketch. Yeah, I have to say, I think arguably the biggest play of this race was Hawk skipping mines entirely and going through Twin Fighters to break into Fen early.
Yeah. That combined with actually being able to get plasma out of crossfire early, definitely both big points here in this race.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sequence breakthrough Magmore into the back of Fen here definitely putting Hawk on the correct path, skipping the worst portion of the seed probably. Are we gonna see an bar skip attempt here?
That would be interesting. It would save time. I don't think they could be doing much of else, because if they were going to save warp, they would have done it already.
Yeah. They might have been talking about it because it kind of looked like Hawk wanted to save warp there, but ultimately didn't.
Almost gets the minute first try. Or the trick, it's not really a minute. And I assume mcolyer is heading to the save room that's in. And we'll go ahead and head to do artifact cleanup in Chozo.
Yeah.
I hope that's what they're doing. It is also possible they stay in Fen, but I'd imagine they'd be going straight for that plasma.
I mean, you know where plasma is, and even Fan has plasma checks, so you need plasma anyways. I don't really see too much reason to leave it behind. I know. On the other hand, I'm not really able to fully make out what the runners might be thinking.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for this interview to ask them. Not just their riding choices and what was going through their head, but what their mentors were discussing with them and what they decided as a team.
Is mcolyer trying to get to the save station but does not really know how to? Or did they just talk themselves out of it and going through Fen?
Yeah, it's possible they're discussing of where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree, Drake.
I mean, this way still could be taken to the frigate, but the safe warp would have been way faster, right? So this is not the way to get to frigate.
I would assume they're going for bar skip then.
We are almost 2 hours into the race, so all these little things that you usually can do without much problem become just that little bit harder after this seed that really tried to break you. I think bonked the head there on the platform.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick while they're doing these tricks. I'll be right back.
There we go. Yeah. This is the way to the bar skip for Hawk.
Oh, I see we are potentially going for bar skip.
At least it looks.
Are we going to Life Grove?
I think it's rather just that one X-ray check here. That is kinda quick on the way to to bar skip, and we only still have 5 E-tanks. We do not have Ice Spreader.
That's a good point.
There is a bit of stuff, especially E-tanks, that would make final bosses more comfortable. Well, mcolyer has made it back to the workstation safe. Just missiles. And that's a safe warp for mcolyer, so yeah, probably going into Chozo. Yeah, maybe just not really able to get to the safe station there in Orphan. And yeah, that looks like a bar skip. That is gonna be attempted.
Yeah, this is a very challenging trick, but as I mentioned in a previous race, this is kind of a trick that, despite it being difficult, it is short enough that you can kind of bash your head against it a little bit until you get it. mcolyer look like they're heading over to do the FCS climb to do Far Chozo and get that plasma.
So the unfortunate thing here for mcolyer at this point would be taking that that plasma and then just clean up the artifacts, do not any additional checks. Because that phase-in suit is just right next to where plasma is, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a very...
It is 2 rooms away.
It's like an uncomfortably close location.
Yeah. But you do have to fight the ghosts to get that check. So that actually might put mcolyer off of it. Hard to say. It's a weird spot. We do have X-ray and Super, so the fight is technically not that bad. But it takes a bit.
I think Hawk is a little bit too close to the... Oh, that bomb jump wasn't terrible. I think the final bomb was placed, or the second bomb was placed a little too high, but... Looks like mcolyer is going for the other version of the FCF's climb, by the way. This is the one that I do personally. Yeah, you slip right off that little corner right there that they just shot at. You kind of do like a diagonal up left, diagonal up right movement, and you just sort of hold with L. It's nice because if you don't quite get it, you can morph into Morph Ball and sort of roll your way up the rest of the way.
It is the method that I was not able to get to work quite yet, so... seems like the simpler method once you get the hang of it, but until then, the other one might be easier to reproduce. Oh, that looks... That looked kind of a pair. No.
So where mcolyer just was, if you hold forward and morph into morph ball as you start slipping down, you can actually just roll right back up. It's like Hawk has decided to skip on bar skip and go through forget.
The infamous bar skip?
Yeah, I don't hate it though. I think going for it and going for a couple tries is always worth it. I'm always going to be in that camp.
And I mean, the frigate is just right next to this if you attempt it, so you... It's not just that far away.
And it is one of those things where you might as well go for it, because I think at this point you have to go through the vanilla Mines Hindrance, since you don't have Spider. Without the knowledge of where Spider is, of course.
Yeah. Looks like mcolyer's mentor has actually mentioned the morph ball thing. It looked like intent in that section, or maybe not.
Oh, looks like mcolyer's got it. Oh no! You just got a morph ball! Oh, there we go. They got it.
Yep. There we go. mcolyer up frigate.
Gonna have kind of an awkward late game high five, by the way. High five. Yeah, Spider is in PPC. It's in a very, very uncomfortably terrible spot, especially when the game expects you to go through mines the vanilla way, because Varia is in far fen.
Yep. Which Hawk just decided to not do and just take the gravity and sequence break through magma to get to far fen.
I think this is actually, like, in my opinion, if you're expected to go through mines, if I have enough E-tanks, I actually quite like skipping mines in a weird way. Because being able to break into fen and find any checks there can be kind of nice. Depends on what your loadout is, obviously, but I think the play of going through Magmor is actually quite strong in a lot of cases.
We do have to maybe point out that our E-tank situation was really bad for a long time. Like, when Hawk did the sequence break, Hawk was still on only 3 E-tanks, but had phase on to go with it.
mcolyer only did the entirety of upper mines with only 2 E-tanks too, which is absolutely nutty.
Yeah.
1 suit.
And 1 E-tank difference is an E-tank out of Tower of Light that Hawk got that mcolyer does not have. By that time had 1 missile too few, or was missing 1 missile to get it, and was not attempting the dash strats. But we will get to see the vanilla way to get that plasma beam. Or, yep. Well,
I would actually like to see these runners utilize their plasma beam more. I think once you have it, it's like the best thing you have, because it one-shots most turrets with charge shot, one tapping pirates that, you know, is basically an insta-kill with the damage over time. Whereas I think while ice is strong, especially on these turrets where you can basically freeze them forever, it's just plasma's a nice, like, Swiss multi-tool with how it deals with everything.
I want to say for the drones specifically, the wave beam's actually better.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
Kind of the same.
Most of the time I just use plasma on most things where I could use it, which mcolyer just has acquired right now.
Oh, are they heading to Elder Chamber?
Uh,
Oh no, don't do it! They're trying to decide!
oh.
It is possible they still, like, leave and don't check this, so this is kind of a tense moment to see what they do here.
Yeah, because Plasma is just in this very room behind that Plasma check. This is not looking like they are fighting the ghost. This might be just going to the safe station.
Oh, they're doing it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're just doing the plasma check, you actually don't need to fight the ghosts.
Oh, right. Right. We don't need a statue. We just move.
Yeah, I'm glad they're checking it, but like Hydraxis said, I would not have like faulted them for not doing this.
I mean,
They just
will
luckily sort of fell onto phase on suit there.
Yeah. Will be heavily rewarded for doing this.
Okay, now this gets interesting, because mcolyer, I believe, just has the 3 artifacts that are in Chozo. Meanwhile, Hawk just has to go to mines and do a very small amount of mines to get their last artifact. By very small, I mean like literally go to main quarry, grapple across, and go up to storage. Oh my god, are they gonna like enter final bosses close to the same time, you think?
It might be a bit depending on how mcolyer is going to do the cleanup here, but it definitely could be. Like, this might be coming down to the final bosses.
If it does, I still give Hawk the edge, having almost double the E-tank.
Oh, absolutely. Like, this cannot be comfortable for mcolyer on only 3 tanks.
Yeah, I would not be happy with having to do that. They may opt to try to find some E-tanks in Chozo.
I mean,
So I believe there's the one in Tower of Light they didn't grab?
The one on Tower of Light, they know they will get one from right next to the training chamber access artifact, the one magma pool. So
right.
They will get a 4th if they so desire.
4th is kind of like what I'm comfortable with. But we'll see what they go with. Honestly, I like low E-tanks. I actually find Ridley scarier than EXO in a lot of ways.
Oh, absolutely. Like, in terms of health, I'm not scared about EXO anymore. Like, I'm either scared of Ridley just catching me with his dashes, or I'm running out on energy of essence. EXO, if you start out with it, can be a bit daunting, but usually if you get into the groove and do it a few times, you can do it reasonably safe. Oh, there's the 4th E-tank.
Followed by a 4th artifact. Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. This is like Plasma's so good against pirates. Possibly just doing more checks, like we said earlier, just to see if they can get some more more resources for final bosses on the way there.
I mean, the main core one is reasonably fast if it's an E-tank.
Yeah.
Or an ice spreader, you can nicely grab it on the way.
I think it was an E-tank too, wasn't it? Yeah.
It is E-tank. Oh, there's a pirate. Probably better to remove it, or he maybe should do down from the spider track.
Apparently the pirate decided to shoot him and then jump down. So, kind of being a pain.
Pirate probably exactly knowing what's going on and getting in sniping position to that rail. Sometimes it feels like that when you're playing Seeds.
Hawk is starting to scare me a little bit because they're taking quite a bit of time, and
Yeah.
all mcolyer has left to do is do this last like beginner loop to grab the last 2 artifacts they need.
I mean, you could just take the move into the spider.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're going for this
Side.
one. Oh, they don't have spider.
Right, oh. Yeah, of course, they don't have spider. Yeah, okay, no, I think 5e tanks is okay. I get wanting the e-tank, but maybe it's just better to say, well,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I think it's you have to wait with how long you think you're going to spend on the check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're rightly deciding
Yep.
that's going to take too long.
Which might very well be the case because mcolyer has picked up artifact number 5.
Oh, don't get shot. Okay. Dude, this is going to be so close.
Yeah, this is actually going to be close.
Because I think mcolyer at this point just gets Vault and then possibly goes to Lava Lake save warp. I think that's probably the fastest way.
I have no idea on those. Like, I would probably, I might at this point just walk back to the ship because that's the way I know. After 2 hours 16 seats.
Oh, I think it's
stuff that I might not be thinking anymore.
I think it's absolutely faster to. Nice bomb jump there from Hawk, by the way. I think it's absolutely faster to go ahead and save warp. Just save the cutscene. It's so long to go on an elevator. Yeah. They're both going to be picking up their last artifact at like the same time.
Well, I mean, Hawk is a little bit faster since mcolyer still needs to open up Vault, but they are in the room with the last artifact at the very same time. And I want to say the way to the save station is easier for Hawk too.
Yeah, I do think Hawk's going to get there slightly before mcolyer, so...
Hawk save station is just across this next room.
All right, 6 and 6.
Has picked up the last artifact. Just needs to find a save station. Oh, this is gonna be a nail biter. Advantage on Hawk's side, having 1 e-tank more.
Oh, Hawk doesn't have a spider, right?
So the access is... Oh. Actually, this might be favoring mcolyer then, if Hawk still needs to figure out how to get to the save station.
We'll see how fast they get it. So I'm sure Baja's going over it with them right now.
Yeah, but yeah. Good jump here might do it, but mcolyer is first to their save station. Oh boy.
Oh, that was pretty close. Oh, that was so close. I'm like just watching. I can't even say anything.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
Probably watching Baja do it right now.
That would be a good method.
Oh,
There
very
we
nice.
go. Hawk does make it.
All right, so mcolyer's the first one on Ridley, but Hawk does have the E-tank advantage when they get there, and it's final bosses. You never know. Like, I think this is still a very close race.
Absolutely. Like if you, there are a lot of things that you can learn here to make these fights faster or more consistent. If either of them knows the Ridley minute, or is being able to snipe Ridley out of dashes, that can change already a lot here.
Or even if neither of them do snipe him out of dashes, just the RNG of how many dashes they get between.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of little stuff like the EXO RNG, whether or not they actually get the boost ball hit on Ridley right here, like mcolyer's about to go for. So if you miss that, you get another fly cycle. mcolyer does get it. Nice. Does get stuck though.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll see how these dashes come out. Can't get a health refill after this, so as long as mcolyer is able to have enough health here, should be okay. Just get good luck on the first set. Oh no, here comes the dashes.
Dash, yeah. Apparently not too familiar with the man up there, had a good setup, but walked out of it. That could be a very good opportunity for Hawk to make up some time. Really being nice now, though. There's another dash.
mcolyer is doing a pretty good job of not taking damage, which was actually what I was more worried about. Playing it safe, I think, is very smart at this point.
Unfortunately, just missing the timing on this last one. Oh, but gets back. Oh,
Gets on
no.
the hit back. Oh yeah, the invincibility. I hate that.
And gets punished with the dash immediately after.
Hawk not going for boost ball? Oh, waited
maybe
too long.
Just forgot.
Yeah.
Like, we are almost 2.5 hours and nerfs can come into play here.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I gotta give it up to both these runners. This seed is obnoxious. So for playing 2.5 hours this long for these fights, like, this is rough.
Yeah, Hawk seems to have gotten the boost this time now, but mcolyer is done with Ridley. Some dashes for Hawk too.
I will note they both have the same missile capacity, by the way. They both have 70 missiles. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, if you think about it, it might actually be just that E-tank out of Tower of Flight that Hawk has the advantage on over mcolyer from the loader here. Which is wild, imagining that they kind of went different routes with Hawk just completely skipping out on mines, but mcolyer lost the progress on the upper mines too there. Basically just has the spider from the mine.
That's right. I forgot about that, actually.
Because there was an E-tank there in upper mines too that I remember about.
Yeah, mcolyer making it through, in my opinion, as a new player for Metroid Prime, one of the most frustrating rooms in the game.
Yeah, I definitely can concur to that from personal experience. Then I saw someone doing it faster and I immediately wanted to try and find out how to do that one faster.
Hawk picking up on that rapid fire missiles.
Oh.
looking a little bit better on these phases.
Not being kind to Hawk here with the dashes.
Yeah.
And Hawk tiny
It's hard
now is getting off.
Yeah, it's hard not to get frustrated too
Oh,
when it happens
oh,
repeatedly.
okay, it was not too early.
Yeah, that sucks when you hit it too early and you get like the like fake damage phase, whatever you want to call it. Collier's still struggling a little bit with this room, by the way. Does
This
make it
room-
up to the recharge room.
Oh,
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 no.
Oh no!
Yeah, when I first started learning this game, I did not like this room.
And
Vision Metroids are actually the worst.
it's not even the worst that they are in here, being what they are. But that the fact that they respawn infinitely is like makes a bad thing even worse, and it was absolutely not necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, nice finish from Hawk, by the way, finishing with the super missile. Is catching up. We'll take this save. I completely agree with this. Get your health back up. You don't have much fit to begin with. And then we'll also be jumping into Impact Crater.
Oh, well, at least mcolyer did not fall down, but is losing a lot of power bombs. That could be nice on the essence fight later.
Yeah, I will safely assume they're going to go straight for that recharge room.
Yeah.
Could see a little catch up from Hawk if they just go ahead and even if they take the recharge room, just making this first try will save a lot of time. Oh, are they going for this?
Yeah, Hawk wants to bait the first Metroid with a power bomb here. That's the intention. To have a little bit of free time to get this low jump here. To land understandable here. And just hop further up.
Okay, if this isn't a hero moment, I don't know what is. That was awesome. Yeah, go ahead, lay the electric bomb. You might as well. You really only need 3 for the final bosses. Oh no! Okay. Alright, making up just fine. Do you go for the recharge though?
This way you skip it. I mean,
Yeah, you can see them. Just going
they
into final
haven't
bosses
been.
with just 2
I
power
mean,
bombs can be
yeah.
a little rough.
on the other hand, we do have all 3 visors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to play it safe, you can save the power bombs for the last cycles where the fish Metroids pop up, or the hunters at least, at the very least, and do the first ones maybe just with ice beam and missiles, or just take a phase and shot at them.
Yeah. I think that's a very smart way to play it. We're actually kind of like tied up here now. We're both on the same sub-chamber. I would say mcolyer has like a 10-second lead, maybe.
Yeah, something like that is one phase ahead right now.
The other advantage mcolyer does have is they did hit that recharge station. They do have more missiles through supers.
And more power bombs for it. More essence. Decide to make use of those to get rid of the Metroids.
This is all fundamentals, baby.
Yeah, but these little differences can be making up the deciding seconds of this race. Yeah, mcolyer gets to the second sub-chamber first. No ice spreader though, so we do need to land those ice shots, and that can get annoying.
Yeah.
They're so slow.
Looks like mcolyer had a slightly faster first sub-chamber, so Hawk will have to put in some work to try to catch up a little bit. Might get lucky with like a better pattern here. If they know to get the super missile shot after the dash, they might be able to get past wave or ice a little bit quicker.
mcolyer is baiting the swipe attack or whatever it is here from the Exo. Nice shot.
Ooh, I think Hawk just pulled ahead. If not, they just closed the gap. Those extra shots were really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, comparing the health, I think Hawk is actually just in the lead.
So I think Hawk just needs one charge shot here from Ice. Yeah.
Looks like mcolyer has an entire wave phase to go through, which is just very, very slow.
Yeah. Still not over yet.
Hawk has another opportunity to get maybe an extra super in. Looks like we are attempting it.
I hit the leg, yeah.
Which would have been getting frozen, so that super into the ice phase without ice spreader would probably very nice. Really one last.
I do think Hawk is playing a little bit too far away from Metroid Prime, specifically during ice phase, just because the shots are so slow. Landing the hits from far away is very difficult. Also, trying to save on missiles by shooting these normally.
Yeah, there's a missile drop up there, so it's a little bit lethal.
Yeah, it does get both of them. Unfortunately, this is giving mcolyer time to catch up. This is a very long ice phase.
It's over now, though. Hawk is still in the lead, I want to say.
I think just by like 1 damage cycle, though.
mcolyer is now on that ice phase. Also gets frozen, so not really able to capitalize on that currently.
I will say I do like how Hawk is playing this. I think they're playing it just safe enough where they're not taking too much damage. They're also utilizing a lot of the extra shots you get before the next phase starts.
Yeah.
Very well played.
Okay.
I think the only thing I would change about Hawk's play is dodging these beams. It's better to space jump up to dodge it than to jump from left to right. The tracking on Exo is actually pretty good with these beams, where it will hit you if you try to just side dash it.
And Hawk is down to the next sub-chamber first.
Very patient with these super missile shots, which I'm glad they're doing because their missile count's a lot lower.
They got a bit of refill. They're doing really, really well on those extra supers.
Yeah, they've hit like almost everyone. Yeah, so if you land that super like they just did, you just need 2 like regular ice shots. You don't even need charge.
Some spare missiles go to the plasma. Oh, getting hit by that plasma beam hurts though. That really hurts.
Both on similar E at this point.
Yeah. Which actually Hawk, up until that beam from Plasma Exo, had an entire E-tank lead, or even a bit more over mcolyer, but that almost equalized the health here. Was that a full health recall there? 100?
Might have been.
Hawk side.
Something to note, until literally just now, they were like within 1 point of health of each other, so that's kind of funny.
mcolyer going into close distance here on Exo at the ice phase.
I do agree with Hawk, by the way, starting to use missiles now to destroy these balls. You're on final sub-changer, and you only need a little bit of damage left. There's no reason to like do charge shots to try to get rid of the balls. Just go ahead, finish it out. I think after this charge shot, we're pretty much good. Yep. Going into Essence. mcolyer's on the final sub-chamber as well, so still not that far behind.
But almost the entire sub-chamber, which can be quite annoying depending on the XRNG. It's not really hitting with supers. Oh, that's this one.
All right, Essence. I think at the start here, you definitely just play it safe, and as these get destroyed, try to suck up some of these health orbs. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what you like to see. There's
Play
at
it
least one
safe,
more.
finish it out. Yeah, there's one more max
There
one on
we
the left
go.
there, I think. Yep. Nice. Yeah, nearly 5 tanks is plenty for Essence.
Yeah, we have all 3 visors, so only 2 power bombs for Hawk, but that should be more than enough.
Hawk with some pretty good spacing on these shots. Should be able to get no pool skip here. Pretty far away from the body. Very nice first phase. By the way, mcolyer actually not that far behind. I think about 2 damage cycles from finishing out and go to Essence.
We have a bit of trouble here too, currently with the ice phase. Taking a bit of damage here again. Does a good job of baiting those swipes though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and on the other side, Hawk already to hunter Metroid.
Does opt to use the power bomb there. I'm surprised they didn't try to use a hyper beam to save on the power bombs. They might not need it though. These are really good cycles.
That's the point. Like, if they do these 2 cycles, they only need the 2 power bombs they had at this point. So, yeah, this just looks like one more pool for Hawk. Maybe even what that. Oh no.
Yeah. One more pool, but they have 1 power bomb in matchup. Yeah. Nice clean, finish it out. Collier is about to finish up on Exo, by the way. I have to say, this has actually been both Exo and Essence. This has been very good from Hawk. I'm pretty impressed.
And there we go. Should probably just unload, and the corner dies as Hawk does manage to get the kill.
Yeah, those flame orbs do so much damage. But GG's to Hawk. This was like arguably one of my favorite races of the tournament. This is really, really fun to watch.
And mcolyer has seen the finish from Hawk and has decided to not finish anymore.
Huge props to both runners though. Like that was so good. I'm sure we'll get them in the booth here shortly, get some interviews going, because I don't know about you, Raylan, but I have some questions.
I mean, I would have them too, but I think I'm just completely worn out from this race.
Both emotionally and everything else.
Yeah. Okay. And I wasn't even playing it, just watching it. It was looks like we do have Hawk here on standby for the interview.
Yeah, whenever we get them up there. Looks like mcolyer's ready to go too. Hello, GG's.
GG's. GG's, mcolyer. Sorry, you popped in right when I was hitting up, so. GG's.
GG's on the worst seed I've seen this tournament.
You obviously haven't watched some of my other ones then, so.
Maybe I need to go back and watch them then. That was a really...
I had one, I think my first seed, or I think it was my first seed that I think more ball bombs were deep inside Magmore. That's horrible, my first seed. It wasn't that bad, to be honest.
Well, very good job to both of you. That was a really, really crazy fun race to watch. I think you guys did some pretty crazy divergent paths a couple times there. Probably the biggest one, the first thing I want to ask is, so I believe, so Hawk, you ended up getting that plasma early, while mcolyer decided to go through Frigate and go through Mines. So that was like the big divergence, because Hawk ended up going through Twin Fires instead and skipping Mines early. So what are you guys' thoughts on the seed and kind of the routes you guys did?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still new enough. Like this is like my 7th seed of this game ever. So I'm still learning. I'm still kind of just letting Baja hey, this is where we should go. I was like, okay. I think there was one point when we saw the plasma he was like, do you want to try this? Have we done this jump before? I was like, nah, but I mean, let's do it because I don't want to have to come back here, I guess. So that was helpful. We did spend most of for the first 30 or 40 minutes not remembering that we could check tree.
Yeah.
So
I was getting blasted for that pretty hard in chat.
well, he was saying that he figured that they would be saying something. So, yeah.
That I'm super sad was that there's something in tree, but nah, we continue forward. We came back.
Yeah.
So, kind of like piggybacking off what you guys just said, how many new tricks did you learn this run? Because it seems like quite a few.
Yeah, so it was getting that plasma, whatever that was. It was, and then there was a couple like the frigate crash site jump. I had done before, but only once or twice. So it was trying to get that one over, and for whatever reason, and I've said this a million times too, in all of these races to Baja, for whatever reason, one of the tricks that is required for everybody that everybody understands is that space jump or that jump off the ship at the beginning, and I just my brain just doesn't get it. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong half the time. So yeah, so pretty much anytime we do anything, it's like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna spend 5 minutes on this until we get it.
It's a more difficult space jump than I think people give it credit for, especially coming as in a new player learning scan dashes for the first time. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. You'll get good at it pretty quickly.
Yeah, just gotta keep on practicing that.
What about you, mcolyer? Any new tricks you learned this round?
I don't think I learned, maybe a few tricks. What I learned is that my computer just broke. My computer screen laptop that I used to play on got black, so I was more focused on somehow to see that screen. So you saw a lot of experiments. I should try to see that again.
Yeah. I saw that in the race. I saw it in the race room after when I clicked on. Man, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it was like, oh god.
Well, good job pulling through and playing through regardless.
Yeah, I'm masterful too.
Hey, where was Spider? I see that you had Spider. Where was Spider?
Oh, it's PPC.
PPC, it was Phase Processing Center in Late Mines.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a big topic for conversation when you were coming out of Farfen, because there was this thought process of it's kind of a gamble to go lower mines, because I think at that point you probably would have isolated that Spider had to be in mines, because if you're expected to go through mines to get to Fen, that's the only way you're going to be able to get there with Varia being in Farfen. So Spider kind of has to be there in order to get out in the first place.
Yeah, Cargo
So
kind of got deleted out of our memory for a while.
yeah.
Before that. So we're like, oh, that's right, frigate. And of course, gravity.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, when we were have no checks left, but do you usually check the ones of checks that are usually were missiles and on that gravity?
Yeah, I feel like gravity shows up there more than it probably should.
Yes, definitely.
So
Even once is too many.
Even the start of the seed was a little wacky with the grappling hook as your first item and knowing that launcher is behind ship.
yeah.
That was a little weird. I'm glad
Ball
we-
on grapple ledge and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like Root Cave was a bit of a red herring, getting X-ray, grapple, and space, and then you go there and it's just an E-tank.
It was, yeah. X-ray never really came into play for anything except just being there for final bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we had remembered we had X-ray, we could have checked tree to realize that the bombs were there. Because we did say that after we went there, Baja was, oh, we even had X-ray. We could have checked it. So,
Yeah.
We'll check the tree.
But it was fun. So
I guess another big question I have for you guys is like E-tank comfortability is different for I think pretty much all players, but definitely throughout the start and throughout the seed, you guys were very, very famined on E-tanks and did not get very many until close to the end. How'd you guys feel about that? Were you like not comfortable with it, or?
I'm usually not comfortable. I'm going to jump on it. I just needed half an attack more for that. Send it to that fight. Final fight.
Yeah, I think, and I mean, you probably saw it. Like we took a lot of safety saves because I seem like I don't know. I just feel it's not comfort level so much. It's just that I feel like sometimes I get stuck in making just a stupid, my controls just I lose it and then I die to a turret because I can't lock on to. I just can't get it to lock on. So yeah.
No, I have the same way of thinking. Like I just got thermal. I will say something happens. I get it back. It was
right.
Right.
What do you think, Raylan? Do you have any questions for him?
Nah.
Brain's still fried from the race.
Yeah, this was just this broke me. It was a commentary on a Metroid Prime rando. I would have liked it to be a little bit less of an whatever this was. I don't know.
I can say this. I have like all the races I've done so far in this tournament have been, I mean, I've had Baja the whole time, and all the times we're like, man, this is like one of the worst seeds I've ever seen. This is terrible. This is a terrible seed. So if these are all terrible seeds, then why do you guys keep playing this game? Like,
that just makes them average seeds.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think it was like my second race. I had six artifacts, all 6 artifacts before by the 7th check. I think I'd only got like 1 or 2 checks, and then I had all 6 artifacts. So we had to fight Ridley on like 1 E-tank, and there was Ice Beam there blocking it. So, yep. Yeah, they're fun.
Oh, any closing thoughts from the runners, or maybe Sam, you have any inspiring thoughts about the seed?
This seed was with Magmore being completely dead and Fendrana only having 1 important check, or 2 important checks, Artifact and Boost from Farfen.
Yes.
That's baffling.
That's a weird way to put that, but yeah, that's a weird seed, man.
Magmore was essentially deleted. Like, you literally didn't need the various suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
No, I mean, I'll just say, I just want to say, GG's again, and I thank you guys for putting on the restream, and that, I have very much enjoyed this tournament, so I'm glad it has existed, so.
Yeah, I also enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I think both you guys played really well. This was actually a really exciting race to watch from start to finish, which is pretty hard to say for most 2.5-hour races. So, really good job from both of you. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing the race. Good luck on your final matches next week before bracket stage. And see you next mission.
All the runners and comms and trackers.
Yeah. Yeah, shouts for Raylan for both calming and tracking this race, by the way.
Yeah, maybe shouldn't have done that.
It's a good call.
Yeah, I did enjoy it, but yeah, we kind of have to wrap up here. So, great race.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Great race. Thank you so much.
Thanks, GG guys.
I'm going to go fix my sheet right now.